Alright friends, I'm Phoebe. I'm on a music discovery journey and I would like to invite you along for the ride. Whilst at 39 I've consumed a lot of music, I haven't consumed it all and there are still some great gems to find that I wanted to share on this channel because that's quite fun, isn't it? So if you like the sound of that, please like and subscribe. I understand Sabaton have a history channel. Now I'm going to watch their episode on a lifetime of war after this in a separate video, but this we're going to be listening to and thinking about what a lifetime of war sounds like and feels like. I have got a little bit of an overview that I'm going to read before I listen to it because a lot of people insist that I do a bit of background info checking. So their fifth album, Carolus Rex, it came from that. It concerns the 30-year war, which is one of the most destructive conflicts ever waged in Europe, even when compared against the two world wars. I didn't know that. Despite the name, the 30 Years' War, it was actually a series of conflicts waged in Central Europe between 1618 and 1648. This period of conflict began in 1618 when the heir apparent to the Bohemian throne, Ferdinand II, moved to curtail certain religious activities within the Holy Roman Empire. This caused rebellion by Protestant states within the empire. The Protestant states called for aid from Britain, Denmark and the Dutch Republic, the leading Protestant powers in Europe at the time. During the course of the war, with the fortunes of both sides, roughly Catholic and Protestant, rose and fell. Ferdinand and his allies won a significant victory at White Mountain in 1620, and by 1628 had overrun most of Protestant Germany. Only intervention from the Swedes under King Gustavus Adolphus saved the Protestants from defeat. As the conflicts wore on, the central focus of the war became a long-running rivalry between the Kingdom of France and the Habsburg House. The war came to an end in 1648 following France's victory over the Spaniards in Rocroi in 1643 and the defeat of the imperialists at Jankow 1645 by Swedish forces. These defeats forced concessions from the Habsburgs, leading to the Peace of Westphalia in 1648. Wow. My pronunciation, I've probably butchered that. I will learn when I watch the Sabaton History channel after this. But hey, just wanted a brief overview. And now, after almost 3 minutes, let's start the video. So it's almost 6 minutes long. What's up, Pi? Like the intro.
Two ways to view the world, so similar at times. Two ways to rule the world, to justify their crimes. By kings and queens, young men are sent to die in war. Their propaganda speaks those words been heard before. Two ways to view the world brought Europe down in flames.
Oh.
Two ways to rule, past man gone insane. A few will remain, who'll find a way to live one more day. Through decades of war, it spreads like disease. There's no sign of peace. Religion and grace.
That's a sad guitar solo. I like that drum before it all kind of calmed a bit.
When they face death, they're all alike. No right or wrong, rich or poor, no matter who they served before. Good or bad, they're all the same. Rest side by side now. As man gone insane, not you will remain. Who'll find a way to live one more day? Through days of war, it spreads like disease. There's no sign of peace. Religion and grain cost millions to bleed. 3 decades of war. Has man gone insane? Not you will remain. Who'll find a way to live one more day? Through decades of war, it spreads like disease. There's no sign of peace. Religion and grain cost millions to
Sorry. I'm not a fan of war, obviously. We don't. It's just very sad that a lot of people lose their lives for really not that big of a deal fighting. Here it says religion and greed cause billions to bleed. It does hit hard. It's a reminder that we're all the same in the end. We're all born the same way, we all die the same way, or we leave the world the same way. So that part was quite important. When they face death, they're all alike. The song feels like more than just this particular war, because it fits with other situations. I'm just getting over a bit of a cold, and my sinuses have got all weird. You get a little bit teary. That's just what happens, I guess. Okay, all right. Let's watch that again, and we'll break it down per verse and chorus. Oh, I love how it intros the drum at the beginning. You can already tell from the sound of this, it's sad. It's not a happy, victorious, triumphant sound. It's mourning all the lives that have been lost. And I know it's called a lifetime of war. It's because it feels like a lifetime. 30 years. Some people don't live to see 30 years. Especially back then. Oh, that sounds so good.
Two ways to view the world, so similar at times. Two ways to rule the world, to justify their crimes. By kings and queens, young men are sent to die in war. Their propaganda speaks those words been heard before.
Gah, that's a lot. Two ways to view the world. There are two sides in this war. There are usually two sides to a story, or two arguments, perhaps. There could be multiple, but generally speaking, or for a lot of situations, there are two sides. And this reiterates that. Two ways to view the world. Could be good, it could be bad, it could be this, it could be that. It's just two different views. So similar at times. So, you know, two groups of people that have a lot of things in common, but they disagree on one thing, perhaps. Two ways to rule the world. Again, perhaps a good way, a bad way, one way, another way, this way, that way, either way. It's two ways. To justify their crimes. Two ways to justify crimes, depending on if you're doing it in the good way, in the bad way. Protestant, Catholic here. By kings and queens, young men are sent to die in war. I think that's the biggest thing about war that makes me sad, is that it's usually lots of the people that fight are the younger people who don't have this initial squabble, this argument. It's the people at the top, the power hungry or the greedy, or the people that want something and another nation or person is not agreeing with them, and this fight or this argument escalates so much that the two sides go to war, and lots of people get involved, or lots of people sign up, or with conscription, a lot of people didn't ask to go to war. And I didn't mention this on another video because I was like, I don't. There's certain times where I'm like, oh well, you know, on one hand, some of the stories are nice and there's humanity there, and then on the other hand, I'm like, but why were they fighting in the first place? What did they agree to fight in the first place? And the truth is, especially a lot more common back in the older days, people didn't have a choice, and some people were forced to do it, or they would face even like some other consequences. Of course, if you go to war, you'll live or die. Perhaps that was the best of a bunch of other choices, or there would be perhaps people that were humiliated, or people that were reminded that they didn't take part, or whatever, for whatever reason. Also, a lot of younger people pretending they were older just to be involved because it was cool to them, or it seemed cool. Lots of people influenced by different things. Propaganda, certain material that would influence, encourage people of a different side, of a certain viewpoint. Sometimes brainwashing, sometimes corrupt things being said that aren't even true. But the media or whatever means, posters, materials, newspapers that would be shared that would have certain information on them that, again, isn't always true. We see it in our newspapers. A lot of the information is false or over dramatic, enhanced, exaggerated. Certain views are completely different to what the reality is, and we see that today. We see that from a lot of nations. Ours is no different, and it's sad. It makes people feel certain ways, even if they don't even realize that some of the information is largely exaggerated, or certain information is hidden, retracted to make people feel a certain way. That's a really hard line to listen to. By kings and queens, young men are sent out to die in war, because that's something that's always happened. Whether it's kings, queens, whatever leader, at least you used to see the kings and queens getting more involved back in the older days, and going out to war and doing whatever. And a lot of the people at the top, the powers that be, you don't see them going to war. Why would they? Why should they? They don't want to die, but they'll let a whole load of people go out and fight for them. And that's the biggest thing that upsets me, that the majority surely would have the power to overthrow a government or to get rid of the people at the top. And for some reason, majority of the time that doesn't happen. Perhaps people are brainwashed so much, perhaps people believe in a certain cause, perhaps people are led to believe it, again, brainwashed. And there are many reasons why, but it just feels like it feels frustrating. Their propaganda speaks the words been heard before. Manipulation at its finest, brainwashing at its finest. It's nothing new. It's nothing new.
And speaks those words been heard before. Two ways to view the world brought Europe down in flames. Two ways to rule, past man gone insane.
I love that first line of the chorus. I really liked the dun dun. That bit.
Two ways to rule, past man gone insane. Not you will remain. Who'll find a way to live one more day through decades of war? It spreads like disease. There's no sign of peace. Religion and greed cause millions to bleed. 3 decades of war.
God, it hits every time. Two ways to view the world brought Europe down in flames. So this Catholic Protestant war conflict, that's what started it, and that's what created this, for Europe to be at war. Two ways to rule, a reminder, there are two ways to rule. Has man gone insane? We ask that quite often when it comes to war and power and greed and people doing things that you would think there would be another way. Anything but fighting. People putting their pride aside. you would think it would be easier than going to war, but some people can't do that. A lot of leaders very stubborn. We see that today. I'm not naming any names. A few will remain. So many people go to war and loads will not come home because two people can't agree, or two sides can't agree on something. At least two sides. Who'll find a way to live one more day, talking about the people fighting, the armies, soldiers. 3 decades, 30 years of this. Even if you live a third of that, that's 10 years of war. Half of that, 15 years. That's a very long time. That's a childhood. And if you go and you've got kids, you come back 30 years, if you're lucky. I don't know if they had more people. I guess they would have, obviously they would have had more people go because lots would die as time goes on. People training, people, of course. So through decades of war, it spreads like disease. It just gets worse and worse. There's no sign of peace. Religion and greed cost millions to bleed. Just, it's very, very obvious what that is saying there. Religion and greed, that is the cause of all of this. Religion, one of the things that's supposed to reiterate moral values. Where's the moral values here? Where are the moral values here? Sorry. And then again, 3 decades of war, reiterating how long it is, because it's long. Like the guitar here. From dawn to dawn they're fighting, die where they stand. Dawn to dawn, that's no sleep. That's a whole 24 hours. Imagine fighting for so long, even if you have to take breaks, come back and forth. That war's lasting all day long, all night long, for 30 years. It's a bloodbath. The fog of war lies thick when armies scorch the land. There's so total destruction, total devastation across everywhere. When all of Europe is burning, what can be done? You would hope there'd be an end to the war, but no one's given in until a side have won. It's ridiculous when you think about the amount of casualties on both sides, on all sides of any war. They've been to war they've been to war a decade. Imagine that, 10 years of war and it's not over yet. And little did they know that it was going to go on for another 20 years. They were nowhere near done at that point. That is heartbreaking. The long here is elongated because the word long makes sense, right? Long way from home. Again, that's quite obvious. Doppersog durch Östrid, translated from Swedish, baptized and died in war. Some of them just kids, young people, and that's how they live their lives. And some might have been 18 years into the war. Some might have literally been born at the start of that war, turned 18 and joined it 18 years in, and still died. It just feels so unnecessary. This guitar solo, listen to how sad it is. I absolutely love how that one drum beat kind of stops everything. Almost feels like a gun going off and killing someone immediately. It's kind of a doom feeling. Everything becomes calmer, but I don't think it's calm in the general calm sense. I think it's calm because, you know, someone's been shot. Imagine someone just a thud to the ground and gone. That's why it's quiet, because they're no longer alive. That's what it feels like to me. I don't know if that's true, but the guitar solo sounds incredibly sad. It sounds like it's in mourning.
When they face death, they're all alike. No right or wrong, rich or poor, no matter who they served before. Good or bad, they're all the same. Rest side by side now as man.
So, when they face death, they're all alike. So this is what I was saying earlier. Basically, when we all die, no one's higher than someone else. No one's better than the other. There's no right or wrong. There's no rich or poor. We no longer exist in this life. No matter who they served before, good or bad, they're all the same. Literally, we are all equals. We are born equals, we die equals. What happened in the middle? Humanity and society and all the influences of society. We live these lives based around what others dictated would be good for us. In the past, creating poverty, starvation, poor people, homelessness, and then people that live on the other side, extreme, lavish lives, rich, powerful, a lot of the time greedy people, not everyone. There's a very poor balance of wealth and quality of life, and it feels unnecessary. And a lot of people say we need that to keep the world turning, but I'm sure there are far better ways than this weird thing that's been created over time that we just kind of go with. It feels like the sad part of humanity to me. This song just makes you think, doesn't it? I enjoy covering these, but they get me feeling quite angry and resentful and sad about the things.
No right or wrong, rich or poor, no matter who they serve before, good or bad, they're all the same, rest side by side now. Has man gone insane? Not you will remain. Who'll find a way to live one more day? Through decades of war, it spreads like disease. There's no sign of peace. Religion and grain cause millions to bleed. 3 decades of war. Has man gone insane? Not you will remain. Who'll find a way to live one more day? Through decades of war, it spreads like disease. There's no sign of peace. Religion and grain cause millions to
Sabaton are really good at telling the stories. They always make me feel like war is just not the answer, and war's caused a lot of destruction and devastation around the world that has led to other bad things. That's my stance on it, but you don't have to agree with me. You can all have an opinion too, that's allowed. But just, I've always settled arguments quite calmly, and haven't felt the need to get physical with anyone, haven't felt the need to fight. And I don't think that's necessary. I'm sure people argue depending on situations, but why can't things be settled another way? Why do people with power and greed get greedy and stubborn, and their decisions affect millions of people over the years, billions, trillions? It was only the other week, on a comment in one of my Sabaton videos, that someone was saying, aren't you upset, or something about your country? And this is what upsets me. People from conflict that happened years ago, people being really angry about what happened in the past. And on one hand, I can understand people being resentful as to what happened, but someone say, aren't you angry that these people took your country or did something to your country? No, I'm not. I wasn't there. They are not my people. This is not my country. The world really shouldn't be owned by anyone. Territory and all of that, it's this is where we got into this mess. But also, my whole family are Irish. It's nice of people to assume that I'm from England, but I grew up here. But both my parents are both Irish, and a lot of my ancestors are Irish too. But anyway, I'm going on. War equals bad to me, and I just feel like it's very sad to know that this happened for 3 years, even if it was a series of conflict. To go from 1618 to 1648, that's dreadful. That's awful. That's awfully sad. And I don't know how many casualties there were, but I can imagine there were a very large amount, significantly large amount of people that lost their lives. So just spare a moment to think about that. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it if you got this far, if I haven't upset you or peed you off. Also, thank you to anyone that's watching. You supporting this channel just by watching. I appreciate it. If you could like and subscribe, that's even more support. But you don't owe it to me. But just in case you have the capacity, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and double check if you think you have, because some people said they thought they had, but they hadn't when I asked them to check. So I found that's a good reminder. And thank you to anyone on Patreon. Shout out to our Patreon supporters. As part of joining the Patreon as a supporter or a VIP, you get your name up here. So thank you, and I'll see you for the next one very soon. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye.